This video was made thanks to this awesome request. Thank you for the title suggestion, and happy watching.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Awakens. If you're a fan of My Hero Academia, especially awesome fanfiction stories all about Deku, you're definitely in the right place. Before we dive into today's story, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow anime fans, and subscribe so you never miss a new upload. Also, if you have an awesome idea or title for the next fanfiction video, drop it in the comment below. I'd love to read your suggestions. And hey, if you want to support the channel even more and keep me extra motivated to create awesome content, consider joining our channel membership. By becoming a member, you'll unlock cool perks like exclusive loyalty badges and custom stickers you can use in the comments. If you've already joined, thank you so much. Your support truly means the world to me and helps keep this channel going. Alright, let's get right into the story.
The afternoon sky above Musudafu was covered by dark clouds. Cold wind swept through the streets as students returned home after school. Groups of classmates laughed together while discussing their plans, but one boy walked alone. Izuku Midoriya quietly carried his worn backpack over one shoulder. His green notebook was tucked safely inside. Fresh bruises covered his arms beneath his school uniform, and he kept his eyes fixed on the road ahead. His peaceful walk ended when a familiar voice echoed behind him. "Oi, Deku." Izuku immediately recognized the voice. Katsuki Bakugo approached with two classmates following behind him. All three wore mocking smiles. Bakugo shoved Izuku's shoulder. "Still pretending you'll become a hero?" Izuku remained silent. Bakugo grabbed the green notebook from his hands and flipped through its pages. Every page was filled with detailed notes about pro heroes, rescue tactics, quirk analysis, and battle strategies. Bakugo laughed. A quirkless loser wasting his time again. His friends laughed with him. Rip. Bakugo tore several pages from the notebook before throwing them into the air. The wind scattered the paper across the sidewalk. Izuku hurried to collect them. "Please give it back." Boom. A small explosion burst beside Izuku's feet. Dust covered his uniform as he stumbled backward. Bakugo pointed at him. "Know your place, Deku." Another explosion erupted from his palm. Boom. Students nearby watched for only a moment before continuing on their way. Nobody stepped forward. Nobody spoke. Bakugo tossed the damaged notebook onto the ground. "You'll never become a hero." The three boys walked away while laughing loudly. Izuku quietly picked up the notebook. Many pages had been torn. Others were covered in dirt and footprints. He carefully placed every page back inside. Despite the damage, he refused to throw it away. It represented years of studying heroes. After returning home, Izuku quietly entered the apartment. "I'm home." Inko glanced toward him from the living room. She immediately noticed the torn notebook. "Bakugo again." Izuku forced a weak smile. "It's all right." She sighed softly. "Izuku, maybe it's time to stop chasing impossible dreams." Those words hurt more than today's explosions. Izuku simply nodded before walking into his room. Later that evening, he quietly left the apartment. His feet carried him toward Dagoba Beach. The shoreline remained buried beneath mountains of abandoned appliances, rusted vehicles, broken furniture, and countless piles of trash. Waves crashed gently against the shore. Whoosh. Izuku climbed onto an old washing machine and looked toward the sea. "I just wanted a chance." His voice disappeared beneath the sound of the ocean. Minutes slowly became hours. The sun gradually disappeared behind the horizon. The tide quietly rose. Then, something unusual drifted toward the beach. It reflected the fading sunlight with a strange blue glow. Izuku climbed down and carefully approached. Half buried beneath wet sand rested a metallic cylinder unlike anything he had ever seen. Its surface was smooth and dark blue. Silver markings spiraled around its body. Inside its transparent center, blue energy rotated endlessly. The object felt strangely warm as Izuku picked it up. What is this? The instant his fingers fully wrapped around the cylinder. Crack. Blue electricity raced across its surface. Izuku nearly dropped it. A bright holographic screen suddenly appeared before his eyes. Monsuno system initializing. Compatible user detected. Genetic synchronization complete. Cosmic core recognized. Welcome, Monsuno Master. Izuku stared at the floating screen. Am I seeing things? New windows appeared one after another. Level 1. Title. Rookie Summoner. Owned cores. 1. Available Monsuno. Lock. Storage. 1100. Missions. Available. Shop. Locked. Fusion. Locked. Analysis. Active. His heartbeat accelerated. Monsuno. Another notification appeared. Tutorial mission. Perform your first core launch. Reward. Analysis module level 1. 50 system points. Izuku slowly looked down at the mysterious cylinder resting in his hands. Its blue energy became brighter. Whir. The core slowly began spinning by itself. The surrounding air vibrated. Small pieces of metal rose into the air. Sand circled around his feet. The system displayed one final message. Launch command required. Say, spin. Izuku swallowed nervously. He tightened his grip around the core. Spin. Whir. The core rotated at incredible speed. Blue light erupted from both ends. Boom. A massive vortex appeared above the shoreline. Waves exploded upward. Whoosh. Light engulfed the entire beach. The ground trembled violently. Crack. A gigantic armored claw emerged from the portal. Another followed. Then an enormous body stepped onto the beach. Boom. The impact shook the entire shoreline. Sand burst into the air. The ocean itself seemed to recoil. Roar. Standing before Izuku was a colossal blue beast. Its body resembled a fusion of a bear, tiger, and gorilla. Massive crimson crystal spikes covered its armored back. Bright blue energy flowed across every muscle and plate of armor. Its glowing eyes slowly turned toward the frightened boy. Izuku instinctively stepped backward. The giant creature remained perfectly still. After several silent seconds, it lowered its massive head. Its deep voice echoed across the beach. Master. Izuku's eyes widened. Why, you can speak. The enormous creature nodded once. My designation is Locke. I answer only to the Monsuno Master. Another holographic notification appeared. First summon complete. Monsuno registered. Locke. Classification. Assault Guardian. Combat rank. A. Bond synchronization. 100%. Izuku looked from the system screen to the gigantic guardian standing beside him. He could barely believe what he was seeing. Far above Musudafu, an orbital surveillance satellite suddenly detected a powerful unknown energy burst. Inside a government monitoring center, warning alarms immediately activated. Beep, beep, beep. One operator stared at the monitor. An unidentified energy signature has appeared near Dagoba Beach. Another analyst quickly checked the database. It doesn't match any registered quirk. Then what created it? Nobody inside the control room could answer. Back at Dagoba Beach, the ocean breeze continued flowing peacefully around Izuku and Locke. The gigantic Monsuno stood protectively beside its new master. Inside the system interface, one final notification quietly appeared. Main objective unlocked. Become the greatest Monsuno Master. Current progress. 0.1%. Morning arrived quietly over Musudafu. Izuku barely slept. The blue core rested safely on his desk beside his hero notebook. Every few minutes, he glanced toward it to make sure the previous night had really happened. The moment he touched the core again, the familiar blue interface appeared before his eyes. Monsuno System. Level 1. Title. Rookie Summoner. Owned cores. 1. Available Monsuno. Lock. System points. 0. Daily mission available. A new notification appeared. Daily mission. Maintain synchronization with your Monsuno number. Reward. 100 XP. 20 system points. Izuku carefully picked up the core. Lock. Blue light flashed. Whir. The core spun for only a second before releasing a small sphere of light. Instead of transforming into the giant beast, the light formed a miniature projection of Locke standing on the desk. The tiny guardian folded its arms. Good morning, Master. Izuku blinked. You can become this small. Locke nodded. Battle form consumes unnecessary energy. Travel form is more efficient. Izuku's eyes sparkled. That's incredible. He immediately grabbed his notebook. His pencil moved rapidly across the pages. Battle mode, travel mode, energy conservation. Locke quietly watched his master writing endless observations. You enjoy collecting information. Izuku smiled. Understanding allies is the first step toward using them efficiently. Locke crossed its arms proudly. Acceptable answer. Another notification appeared. Analysis skill activated. New passive acquired. Monster synchronization. Current synchronization. 100%. After school, Izuku decided to return home using a different route. Locke remained inside the core attached to his belt. The system interface stayed hidden unless summoned. Everything seemed peaceful, until screams echoed through the street. Help! Someone stop him! People immediately scattered. Cars crashed into one another. Bang! Glass shattered across the road. Izuku hurried toward the commotion. A massive sludge-like villain flowed through the street like a living river. Its yellow eyes searched frantically. Citizens ran in every direction. Professional heroes attempted to surround it. The villain laughed. You're too slow. Splash. Its body slipped between several heroes before disappearing into a nearby alley. Izuku chased after it. He turned the corner. His eyes widened. Katsuki Bakugo was pinned against a wall. The sludge villain completely covered his upper body. Bakugo struggled violently. Small explosions burst from inside the sludge. Boom. Boom. They accomplished nothing. The villain laughed louder. Keep struggling. Your quirk will belong to me. Bakugo gasped for air. Nearby heroes hesitated. Their quirks risked hurting the hostage. One hero clenched his fists. We need another opening. Another shook his head. If we attack now, the boy dies. Izuku looked around desperately. His breathing became heavier. His hand slowly reached toward the blue core hanging from his belt. The system immediately reacted. Emergency combat detected. Recommended action. Summon Locke. Success reward. 300 XP. 50 system points. Izuku's heartbeat thundered inside his chest. He remembered the destruction Locke caused with a single step. Using that power inside a city. Could innocent people get hurt? Locke's voice echoed calmly from the core. Master. Trust me. Izuku tightened his grip. His fear slowly disappeared. Determination replaced it. He stepped past the surrounding heroes. Kid. One hero shouted. Get back. Izuku ignored him. He pulled the core from his belt. Its blue energy immediately intensified. Whir. The spinning speed increased rapidly. Every hero stared in confusion. What is that? Bakugo barely noticed through the sludge covering his face. Izuku raised the core. Spin. Whir. The core shot forward. Blue lightning erupted into the sky. Boom. A gigantic vortex opened above the intersection. Powerful wind blasted through every street. Whoosh. Everyone shielded their faces. The sludge villain stopped laughing. What? Rawr. A colossal blue claw burst from the portal. Then another. Finally, the gigantic body of Locke crashed onto the road. Boom. The entire street trembled. Parked cars bounced from the impact. Windows rattled. Dust filled the air. Citizens stared upward in complete disbelief. The enormous armored guardian stood between Izuku and the villain. Its crimson crystal spikes glowed brightly. Blue energy flowed across its massive body. Locke slowly lowered its head toward Izuku. Battle orders, Master. Every professional hero remained speechless. One whispered, "That's a monster." Another stared at Izuku. His quirk summoned it. The sludge villain laughed nervously. "Big doesn't scare me." It launched dozens of sludge tendrils toward Locke. Splash. The attack struck the Guardian's armor. They failed to leave even a scratch. Locke didn't move. Its glowing eyes locked onto the enemy. Izuku quickly analyzed the battlefield. "Don't attack recklessly. Bakugo is trapped inside." Locke nodded. "Understood." Its massive paw slammed into the pavement. Boom. Shockwaves spread across the street. The sludge villain lost its balance. Its body rippled violently. Izuku pointed toward the hostage. "Left side. Avoid the center. Tear the body apart without crushing Bakugo." Locke immediately moved. Its enormous arm blurred. Slash. Its glowing claws sliced cleanly through the outer sludge. The villain screamed. Gra. Large portions of its body flew across the street. Bakugo's upper body became visible. The villain desperately tried to reform. Locke struck again. Boom. Another precise swipe scattered more sludge. Izuku continued issuing commands. "Keep separating the main body. Don't give it time to merge." Locke obeyed perfectly. Every strike followed Izuku's instructions exactly. Boom. Slash. Boom. Roar. Within seconds, the sludge villain had been divided into dozens of isolated masses. Without a central body, it could no longer maintain control over Bakugo. The hostage collapsed onto the pavement, coughing violently. The surrounding heroes immediately rushed forward. They quickly captured every separated piece of sludge using specialized restraint containers. Click, click, click. The villain screamed helplessly. "No. Put me back together." Within moments, everything was over. Complete silence filled the intersection. Every eye slowly turned toward the enormous blue guardian. Then toward the green-haired boy standing calmly beneath it. Locke looked down. Enemy neutralized. Master. The system chimed softly. Mission complete. First combat victory achieved. Rewards obtained. 300 XP. 50 system points. New feature unlocked. Core storage. Before anyone could ask questions, Locke transformed into blue light. Whoosh. Its gigantic body shrank into a glowing sphere before returning to the spinning core. Whir. The cylinder gently landed back in Izuku's waiting hand. Silence remained. All Might, who had arrived only moments before, stared at the boy with surprise. He had expected another desperate rescue. Instead, the battle had already ended. He looked toward the strange blue cylinder in Izuku's hand. Young man, what exactly was that? The rescue spread across Musudafu overnight. Television stations replayed the footage again and again. Citizens uploaded shaky videos showing the enormous blue monster standing in the middle of the street. No one could identify the creature. No hero database contained anything similar. Every news channel reached the same conclusion. A mysterious summoning quirk has appeared. Inside his apartment, Izuku quietly watched the news before switching the television off. The core rested beside his breakfast. He smiled faintly. "They think it's a quirk." Locke's voice came from inside the core. "Does that concern you, Master?" Izuku shook his head. "Not yet. If people believe it's a quirk, they won't question it as much." The system suddenly appeared. Daily login complete. Reward. 50 XP. 10 system points. Another notification followed immediately. Main mission updated. Objective. Collect 2 additional Monsuno cores. Requirements. Complete daily quests. Current progress. 02. Reward. Unlock second summon slot. Izuku looked at the interface. 2 more cores. How do I obtain them? The system responded instantly. Daily quests available. Quest 1. Complete physical training. Reward. Core fragments x20. Quest 2. Complete Tactical Analysis. Reward. Core Fragments X15. Quest 3. Assist 1 civilian. Reward. Core Fragments X15. 100 fragments required to generate a new core. Izuku's eyes widened. I can earn them. Without wasting another second, he changed into sports clothes and headed toward Dagoba Beach. The mountains of trash still covered the shoreline. Izuku began lifting old tires. He dragged refrigerators across the sand. He stacked broken furniture into organized piles. Hours passed. Sweat soaked his clothes. His muscles screamed in exhaustion. Finally, ding. Quest completed. Physical training complete. Reward received. Core fragments. 20. Izuku smiled. 1 down. After resting for several minutes, he sat on top of a rusted shipping container. He opened his hero notebook. Every page quickly filled with observations. Possible formations. Battle positions. Enemy classifications. Terrain advantages. Locke quietly watched from beside him in its miniature form. Master, why are you drawing battle maps? Izuku continued writing. Because every monster has strengths and weaknesses. If I understand them, I can use them better. Locke nodded approvingly. Acceptable strategy. Ding. Quest completed. Tactical analysis complete. Reward received. Core fragments. 15. Current fragments. 35,100. Only one quest remained. Izuku packed his notebook before leaving the beach. On the way home, he noticed an elderly woman struggling to carry several heavy grocery bags across a busy intersection. Cars continuously passed by. The traffic light changed. The woman hesitated. Izuku immediately ran over. Please allow me. She smiled warmly. Thank you, young man. He carried every bag across the street before helping her reach her apartment entrance. You're very kind. Izuku scratched the back of his head. It wasn't much. The elderly woman smiled again. Heroes don't always wear costumes. Those simple words stayed with him as he walked away. Ding. Quest completed. Civilian assistance complete. Reward received. Core fragments. 15. Current fragments. 50,100. Halfway there, the system suddenly emitted another chime. Ding. Bonus mission unlocked. First heroic rescue recognized. Claim reward. Yes, no. Izuku immediately selected yes. Blue particles surrounded the interface. Core fragments rapidly increased. 50, 60, 75, 100. Ding. Core fragments complete. New core creation available. Create core. Yes, no. Izuku's heart raced. Yes. The fragments gathered into a sphere of blue light. They spun rapidly in front of him. Whir, crack. The light condensed into another metallic cylinder. This one was silver with glowing emerald markings. The system displayed new information. New core acquired. Monsuno. Evo. Classification. Aerial assault. Combat rank. A. Specialization. High-speed flight. Energy bombardment. Izuku carefully picked up the second core. It felt much lighter than Locke's. Evo. The core immediately spun. Whir. A beam of emerald light shot upward. Whoosh. Instead of a massive beast crashing onto the street, a graceful mechanical condor emerged from the energy. Its metallic wings stretched nearly 20 meters wide. Green energy flowed across every feather-like plate. Its sharp golden eyes immediately focused on Izuku. The bird descended gracefully before folding its wings. Greetings, Master. Its voice sounded calm and precise. Izuku smiled excitedly. Welcome, Evo. Locke's miniature projection appeared beside the new arrival. The two Monsuno quietly examined one another. Locke crossed its arms. Fast. Evo tilted its head. Durable. Izuku laughed softly. You've already started analyzing each other. Evo answered immediately. Team efficiency begins with understanding allies. Locke nodded. Agreed. The system chimed once more. Team bonus activated. Owned Monsuno. Lock. Evo. Synchronization. Excellent. New mission unlocked. Obtain third core. Reward. Boost core. Izuku blinked. Boost. The interface expanded. A silhouette resembling a swift dinosaur appeared on the screen. Its information remained hidden. Future reward detected. Monsuno. Boost. Status. Locked. Complete mission chain to unlock. Izuku looked at both cores resting in his hands. Only 2 days earlier, he had been a quirkless student with nothing except hero notebooks. Now he commanded 2 mysterious cosmic monsters. He smiled confidently. We're just getting started. Locke grinned. Our enemies will grow stronger. Evo spread its metallic wings. Then we shall evolve faster. Far away, inside a secure government research facility, scientists continued analyzing recordings from the sludge villain incident. Every simulation produced the same impossible conclusion. The blue monster possessed no detectable quirk factor. One researcher quietly lowered his tablet. Whatever that creature is, it didn't come from our world. 2 weeks passed after the sludge villain incident. Izuku spent every morning training his body before sunrise. Every afternoon, he completed the Monsuno system's daily quests. Every evening, he studied hero tactics while learning how to coordinate Locke and Evo together. His synchronization with both Monsuno steadily increased. Monsuno system. Level 6. Title. Rookie Summoner. Owned cores. Locke. Evo. Boost. Synchronization. Locke. 100%. Evo. 100%. Boost. 92%. Active summon slots. 2. During the previous week, Izuku had finally unlocked his third core. Boost. Unlike Locke's overwhelming strength or Evo's aerial superiority, Boost specialized in explosive speed. The blue raptor-like Monsuno constantly challenged Locke to races across Dagoba Beach. Every challenge ended the same way. Boom. Boost disappeared in a blur. Locke simply watched. Too fast. Boost proudly laughed. Speed wins. Evo hovered above them. Until strategy intervenes. Izuku smiled while recording every observation. All 3 Monsuno possessed completely different personalities. That made commanding them even more interesting. The morning of the U.A. entrance examination finally arrived. Hundreds of applicants gathered outside the massive academy gates. Many whispered while looking at Izuku. That's him. The boy who summoned that giant monster. His quirk must be incredible. Izuku ignored the attention. He quietly entered the examination hall. Present Mike jumped onto the stage. Welcome, future heroes. Today you'll destroy robots to earn points. 1, 2, and 3-point robots are your targets. There's also one giant robot. Don't fight that one. It's basically an obstacle. The students erupted with excitement. Izuku calmly listened. His eyes remained fixed on the map displayed behind Present Mike. He quickly memorized every street. Possible choke points. High ground. Escape routes. Robot spawn zones. Recovery stations. His notebook remained closed. Everything was already stored inside his memory. Outside the examination city, applicants waited behind the starting gates. A loud siren echoed. Beep. The giant doors slowly opened. Go. Students rushed forward. Boom. Explosions echoed everywhere. Quirks activated across the battlefield. Ice. Fire. Wind. Metal. Laser beams. Izuku simply walked. He looked toward a wide intersection. This area has enough room. His hand reached for the first core. Whir. Spin. The blue cylinder launched into the sky. Boom. A vortex exploded above the city. Roar. Locke crashed onto the street. The impact shattered nearby pavement. Robot sensors immediately detected the gigantic target. Dozens charged simultaneously. Locke remained perfectly calm. Orders. Master. Izuku pointed ahead. Clear the street. Locke smiled. Acknowledged. Boom. Its massive fist slammed downward. An enormous shockwave surged through the avenue. Robots flew into the air like toys. Crack. Metal frames twisted apart. Warning alarms echoed everywhere. Score gained. Plus 18 points. Before the remaining machines recovered, Izuku launched another core. Spin. Whir. Emerald light erupted across the sky. Whoosh. Evo descended from above. Its enormous mechanical wings spread wide. Ready. Master. Air support. Evo instantly accelerated. Boom. Its speed generated a violent gust. Laser cannons extended beneath its wings. Zap. 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 Precise energy blasts rained down. Robots exploded one after another. Boom. 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 The sky filled with burning debris. Students nearby froze. One applicant stared upward. He summoned another one. Another stepped backward. He controls multiple monsters. Izuku calmly observed everything. Locke. Push the eastern group toward Evo. Locke nodded. Its gigantic shoulder rammed dozens of robots together. Crash. They rolled into a single pile. Evo immediately fired. Zap. Boom. The entire cluster vanished beneath emerald explosions. The system chimed repeatedly. Ding. 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 Score increasing. Battle efficiency. 98%. Team coordination. Excellent. Inside the observation room, teachers watched dozens of screens. Smintos folded his arms. He isn't fighting personally. Midnight nodded. He commands them like a battlefield general. Power Loader adjusted his glasses. Their teamwork is almost flawless. Nezu quietly smiled. His greatest weapon isn't those monsters. Everyone looked toward him. It's his decision-making. Back on the battlefield, robots continued appearing. Izuku released his third core. Whir. Blue light burst across the street. A sleek mechanical velociraptor emerged from the spinning energy. Its crimson eyes glowed brightly. It immediately sprinted. Boom. The ground cracked beneath its feet. Boost disappeared. Whoosh. Students barely saw a blur crossing the battlefield. Slash. 3 robots split apart. Whoosh. Another machine collapsed. Boom. Boost ricocheted between buildings faster than cameras could follow. Within seconds, an entire district had been cleared. Locke laughed loudly. Slow machines. Boost grinned. They never touched me. Evo circled overhead. Western sector secured. Izuku continuously adjusted their positions. Boost. Left alley. Evo. Wadok rooftops. Locke. Protect civilians. Every command arrived instantly. Every Monsuno responded perfectly. Minutes later, warning sirens echoed across the city. Beep. Students looked upward. A gigantic shadow emerged above the buildings. The zero-pointer. The colossal robot towered over every street. Its footsteps shook the city. Boom. 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 Many applicants immediately fled. Run. That's the zero-pointer. One girl became trapped beneath fallen concrete. She struggled to move. Several students hesitated. None approached. Izuku immediately noticed. Locke. Rescue first. Without hesitation, the giant guardian sprinted. Boom. Its massive hands lifted the collapsed debris. The trapped girl crawled free. She looked upward in disbelief. Thank you. Locke simply nodded before turning toward its master. The zero-pointer raised its gigantic arm. Warning lights flashed. Izuku looked calmly at the battlefield. Everyone. The 3 Monsuno focused on him. Combined assault. All 3 answered together. Yes, master. Locke charged directly forward. Boom. Boost raced around the robot's legs at incredible speed. Whoosh. Its claws carved deep cuts into every joint. Crack. The massive machine stumbled. Evo climbed high into the clouds. Its wings glowed brilliantly. Energy gathered around its body. Izuku pointed upward. Now, Evo folded its wings. It became a streak of emerald light. Boom. The aerial strike slammed directly into the zero-pointer's chest. Simultaneously, Locke's enormous fist crashed into the weakened armor. Boom. Boost struck both knees. Slash. Crack. The giant robot froze. For one silent second, the entire machine split apart. Boom. Towering pieces of metal crashed across the city. Dust filled the sky. The zero-pointer had been completely destroyed. Every student stood motionless. The battlefield became silent. Inside the observation room, every teacher stared at the monitors. President Mike slowly lowered his microphone. That was one attack. All Might smiled while watching the green-haired boy standing calmly between his three Monsuno number. Young Midoriya, you truly possess the heart of a commander. The Monsuno system quietly displayed a new notification. Entrance examination complete. Score calculation finished. Combat points. Maximum. Rescue points. Maximum. Hidden achievement unlocked. Title acquired. Battlefield tactician. New feature unlocked. Advanced daily quests. The results of the entrance examination spread across UA faster than anyone expected. Every teacher had watched the recording more than once. 3 gigantic monsters. Perfect coordination. Not a single reckless decision. Izuku Midoriya had not simply overwhelmed the robots with raw strength. He had controlled the battlefield. Inside the principal's office, Nezu quietly replayed the final attack against the zero-pointer. Boom. The screen froze just as Locke shattered the robot's chest while Evo struck from above and Boost destroyed its balance. Nezu smiled. Excellent. All Might folded his arms. His monsters possess incredible strength. But that's not what impressed me. Nezu nodded. He never issued an unnecessary command. Every order had a purpose. Aizawa silently watched the recording. There's only one question. Everyone looked toward him. Is his ability actually a quirk? Nobody answered. Meanwhile, several days later, official acceptance letters arrived across Japan. Inside the Midoriya apartment, Izuku carefully opened the package. A small holographic projector rolled onto the table. Click. Blue light filled the room. All Might appeared with his usual smile. Young Izuku Midoriya, congratulations. You have successfully passed the UA entrance examination. Confetti exploded behind the hologram. Pop. Your rescue points were extraordinary. Combined with your combat score, you ranked at the very top of this year's applicants. Izuku smiled quietly. Thank you. All Might continued. We look forward to seeing your growth. The recording ended. Another notification immediately appeared before Izuku. Main mission complete. Reward received. 500 XP. 300 system points. New feature unlocked. Training simulator. Izuku blinked. A simulator. He selected the icon. The room disappeared. Whoosh. A white space surrounded him. Countless floating platforms stretched into the distance. 3 familiar lights descended nearby. Locke, Evo, Boost. All 3 appeared together. Welcome, Master. The system displayed another message. Training simulator. Damage sustained inside this space will not affect the real body. All combat data will be recorded. Izuku's eyes widened. This is perfect. Before he could ask another question. Warning. Training opponent selected. Light condensed ahead. A gigantic mechanical beast materialized. Its body resembled an armored wolf. Red eyes glowed brightly. Simulation enemy. Difficulty. C. Rar. The machine charged immediately. Boost reacted first. Whoosh. It vanished. Slash. Its claws struck the enemy's side. Sparks flew. Crack. The wolf barely slowed. It swung its tail. Boom. Boost leapt backward. Locke stepped forward. Its massive fists collided with the machine. Boom. Both monsters slid across the platform. Evo climbed overhead. Zap. Energy blasts rained downward. The enemy dodged surprisingly well. Izuku carefully watched everything. Its movements. They're adapting. The system answered. Simulation enemies learn from repeated attacks. Change tactics. Izuku immediately nodded. Lock. Hold it in place. Lock lowered its shoulder. Boom. It tackled the mechanical wolf directly. Both giants crashed across the platform. Crack. The enemy struggled to escape. Boost. Attack the joints. Whoosh. Boost disappeared again. Slash. Slash. Its claws cut through both rear legs. The machine lost balance. Evo. Finish it. Evo folded its wings. Green energy gathered around its beak. Zap. A concentrated beam struck the exposed core. Boom. The mechanical wolf exploded into countless particles. Ding. Simulation complete. Battle grade A. Commander efficiency 99%. The white training space slowly faded. Izuku returned to his bedroom. He looked at the 3 cores resting on his desk. This place lets us improve without risking anyone. Lock crossed its arms. Efficient. Boost grinned. Next time, choose something faster. Evo calmly added, or stronger. Izuku laughed softly. We'll fight both. The following morning, he arrived at UA for the first time as an official student. Dozens of freshmen gathered outside the academy. Many immediately recognized him. That's the summoner. He destroyed the zero-pointer. I heard he controls 3 giant monsters. Whispers followed him all the way to classroom 1A. Izuku quietly slid open the classroom door. Inside, several students were already talking. Tenya Iida adjusted his glasses. Ochako Uraraka smiled after recognizing the boy who had rescued her during the entrance exam. Bakugo remained silent. His eyes stayed fixed on Izuku. He still remembered the gigantic blue monster that had effortlessly defeated the sludge villain. Before anyone could introduce themselves, the classroom door opened again. A man wrapped inside a yellow sleeping bag crawled inside. Sit down. Every conversation stopped. The man slowly stood up. His tired eyes swept across the room. I'm Shota Aizawa, your homeroom teacher. Without another word, he tossed a box filled with athletic uniforms onto the floor. Change. We're going outside. Minutes later, Class 1A stood on the training field. Aizawa held a softball in one hand. Quirk assessment test. Show me what you can really do. His eyes stopped on Izuku. Midoriya, you're first. Izuku calmly stepped forward. Aizawa activated his quirk. His hair floated upward. His eyes glowed red. Let's begin with a simple question. He stared directly at Izuku. Let's see if those monsters of yours disappear when I erase your quirk. The training field stretched across the massive UA campus. Class 1A stood in a straight line while Aizawa observed them with his usual expressionless face. His red eyes remained fixed on Izuku. Moments earlier, he had activated erasure. Nothing happened. The 3 Monsuno cores hanging from Izuku's belt continued glowing faintly. Aizawa deactivated his quirk. Interesting. He tossed the softball toward Izuku. Throw it. Izuku caught it. Am I allowed to use my ability? Yes. Everything you have. Izuku nodded. Instead of summoning Lock, he smiled slightly. Boost. Whir. The blue core spun above his hand. Whoosh. A flash of blue light formed the compact travel form of Boost beside him. The sleek velociraptor lowered its head. Orders, Master. Throw assistance. Boost nodded. Its tail gently touched Izuku's shoulder. Blue energy flowed into his arm. Crackle. Small arcs of energy danced around the softball. Izuku inhaled once, then threw. Whoosh. Boom. The ball disappeared into the clouds. Everyone stared upward. The digital screen rapidly counted. 300, 520, 760, 982, 1128 meters. The screen stopped. Silence. Ochako blinked. That's amazing. Kirishima grinned. He didn't even look like he was trying. Bakugo clicked his tongue. Tick. Aizawa quietly wrote something on his clipboard. Next. The remaining physical tests continued. For the 50-meter dash, Boost once again appeared beside Izuku. Instead of carrying him, the Monsuno simply sprinted ahead. Izuku matched its rhythm. Boost continuously adjusted his pace, creating controlled wind currents that pushed Izuku forward. Whoosh! They crossed the finish line almost instantly. 3.08 seconds. The class erupted into whispers. During the standing long jump, Evo briefly appeared overhead. One flap of its enormous wings created a powerful updraft. Whoosh! Izuku soared through the air before landing smoothly. Distance recorded: 18.6 meters. Every test followed the same pattern. Izuku never relied entirely on brute strength. He used each Monsuno in creative ways. Lock stabilized heavy lifts. Boost enhanced movement. Evo manipulated airflow. Aizawa noticed everything. He isn't using power. He's using teamwork. After the final event, the students gathered once again. Aizawa looked across the class. Your quirks aren't enough. Learn to think. His eyes stopped on Izuku. Midoriya. Good use of support. Izuku bowed politely. Thank you. The class returned to the locker rooms. Many students immediately surrounded Izuku. Mina smiled brightly. Those monsters are incredible. Zero leaned closer. Can they all fight together? Denki scratched his head. Are they robots? Izuku laughed awkwardly. They're called Monsu number. Before he could explain further, Bakugo walked over. His hands were already producing tiny explosions. Crackle. Oi. Everyone became silent. Bakugo glared directly at Izuku. Fight me. Kirishima sighed. Dude. Bakugo ignored him. Those monsters. I'll crush every single one. Izuku calmly met his gaze. Today isn't a combat exercise. Bakugo stepped closer. Scared. Izuku shook his head. Number. I simply don't waste battles. Bakugo clenched his fists. Before another word could be spoken, alarms echoed throughout the building. Beep. Beep. All students immediately looked upward. A loudspeaker activated. Attention. All first-year students report immediately to Combat Training Ground Gamma. Repeat. Combat training begins now. Minutes later, Class 1A gathered inside a massive mock city. Towering concrete buildings surrounded narrow streets. Steel bridges connected rooftops. All Might stood proudly at the center. Today, you'll experience your first indoor hero versus villain exercise. The students cheered. All Might held up a small box. Inside were folded cards. Villains. Heroes. Draw your roles. Everyone reached inside. Izuku unfolded his card. Hero. Across from him, Tenya Iida smiled. It appears we're partners. Izuku nodded. Let's work together. All Might checked another card. Your opponents. He looked toward the opposite side. Bakugo Katsuki and Ochako Uraraka. Bakugo smiled for the first time that day. It wasn't friendly. Finally, inside the preparation room, Iida examined the building blueprint. Their objective is protecting the mock nuclear device. Izuku quietly studied every corridor, every staircase, every ventilation shaft. He closed the map. Bakugo will rush immediately. Iida adjusted his glasses. How can you be certain? Because that's what I would expect if I were him. The Monsuno system suddenly appeared. Combat mission. Hero exercise. Recommended deployment. Boost. Evo. Reward. 200 XP. 50 system points. Izuku smiled. I already had the same idea. Inside the villain base, Bakugo tightened his gauntlets. Small explosions crackled around his palms. Boom. He thinks those monsters make him special. He laughed. I'll blast them apart. Outside the building, All Might raised one hand. Heroes. Villains. Begin. A loud buzzer echoed across the training city. Beep. Izuku immediately pulled two cores from his belt. They began spinning simultaneously. Whir. Whir. Blue and emerald light illuminated the street. Boost. Evo. Whoosh. The two Monsuno emerged together. Boost crouched low. Its crimson eyes narrowed. Evo spread its enormous metallic wings above the rooftops. Izuku pointed toward the upper floors. Evo. Maintain aerial surveillance. Yes, Master. With one powerful flap. Whoosh. Evo disappeared into the sky. Izuku turned toward Boost. You're with us. Boost grinned. Let's hunt. Inside the building, Bakugo suddenly heard powerful wingbeats echo overhead. Whoosh. He looked toward the ceiling. Already, the hero versus villain exercise ended with an overwhelming victory for Izuku and Tenya. Using Evo's aerial surveillance and Boost's incredible speed, Izuku had predicted every movement inside the building. Bakugo never managed to corner them. Before he could launch his strongest explosion, Boost had already forced him away from the mock nuclear device while Iida secured the objective. All Might smiled proudly. Heroes win. The giant monitor displayed the final result. Hero team victory. Combat efficiency. 98%. Team coordination. Excellent. The students erupted into conversation. Mina pointed toward Izuku. He controlled everything from the beginning. Kirishima nodded. It's like he already knew where Bakugo would attack. Bakugo stood silently with clenched fists. Tiny explosions crackled around his palms. Crackle. He hated losing. Especially to Izuku. Later that afternoon, Class 1A returned to the classroom. Aizawa walked inside carrying a stack of papers. Your performance today was acceptable. He placed the reports on his desk. However, real villains won't follow predictable patterns. His tired eyes shifted toward Izuku. Midoriya, your battlefield awareness is exceptional. Don't become overconfident. Izuku nodded respectfully. I understand. After classes ended, Izuku headed toward Dagoba Beach as usual. The evening breeze swept across the shoreline. Locke, Evo, and Boost appeared in their compact travel forms. Locke sat on a broken concrete block. Boost continuously raced around piles of scrap metal. Whoosh. Evo quietly observed the coastline from above. Izuku opened his notebook. Today's combat exercise quickly filled several pages. Bakugo's attack habits. Iida's teamwork. Building layouts. Alternative strategies. Locke looked toward him. Another analysis. Izuku smiled. Every battle teaches something. The system suddenly appeared. Special mission completed. Hero exercise evaluation. S rank. Calculating rewards. Golden particles surrounded the interface. Ding. Reward obtained. 500 XP. 400 system points. New core available. Create core. Yes number. Izuku immediately selected yes. Yes. The three existing cores floated into the air. Blue energy flowed between them. Countless particles gathered together. A fourth metallic cylinder slowly formed. This one possessed thick silver armor surrounding its body. Deep orange energy pulsed inside the transparent chamber. The system displayed new information. New Monsuno acquired. Charger. Classification. Fortress Guardian. Combat rank. A. Special abilities. Energy barrier. Heavy assault. Defensive formation. Izuku carefully picked up the new core. Charger. Orange light burst from the spinning cylinder. Boom. The ground trembled. A gigantic armored beast emerged from the light. Its appearance resembled a massive rhinoceros combined with an armadillo. Heavy metallic plates completely covered its body. Its enormous horn glowed with orange energy. The creature lowered its head respectfully. Awaiting orders, Master. Locke smiled. Another frontline fighter. Charger looked toward Locke. I specialize in defense. Boost circled around the newcomer. You look slow. Charger calmly answered. I only need one step. Boost grinned. We'll see. Izuku laughed quietly. Welcome to the team. Before another word could be spoken. Ding. The system chimed once again. Hidden condition fulfilled. 4 combat type Monsuno collected. Bonus reward unlocked. Creating additional core. Izuku blinked. Another one. Emerald and white light gathered beside Charger's core. A fifth cylinder slowly materialized. Its elegant silver body reflected the moonlight beautifully. Soft white energy rotated inside. The interface updated. New Monsuno acquired. Quickforce. Classification. Aerial support. Combat rank. A. Special abilities. Supersonic flight. High-speed transport. Wind manipulation. Izuku smiled even wider. Quickforce. Whir. The new core launched upward. A brilliant column of white light descended from the sky. Whoosh. An enormous winged Pegasus emerged gracefully. Its silver mane flowed like moonlight. Powerful white wings spread across the beach. Gentle currents of wind surrounded the majestic creature. Quickforce landed softly before bowing its head. It is an honor to serve. Evo descended beside the Pegasus. The two flying Monsuno quietly examined each other. Evo spoke first. Flight specialization confirmed. Quickforce smiled. I prioritize mobility over offense. Locke crossed its arms. Good. Master needed faster transportation. Boost laughed. Finally. Someone who can keep up. Quickforce simply smiled. We shall race another day. Izuku looked at the 5 Monsuno standing together. Locke, Evo, Boost, Charger, Quickforce. His team had grown far faster than he expected. The system displayed another notification. Team expansion complete. Owned Monsuno. New tactical formations unlocked. Frontline Fortress. Sky Assault. Rapid Interception. Combined Pursuit. Izuku carefully memorized every formation. Each one automatically arranged the Monsuno according to their specialties. He closed the interface. We'll practice every formation. All 5 Monsuno answered together. Yes, Master. Far away, inside a hidden underground facility, dozens of surveillance screens replayed footage from the U.A. combat exercise. A mysterious man wearing a mechanical visor quietly watched every second. He paused the recording when Charger's image appeared. Then again when Quickforce emerged. The man slowly smiled. Interesting. Those creatures aren't evolving. They're assembling an army. He reached toward a communication device. Continue monitoring Izuku Midoriya. I want every piece of data regarding those Monsu number. 1 week passed peacefully inside U.A. Class 1A continued learning rescue operations, combat tactics, and teamwork. Every afternoon, Izuku spent extra hours inside the training simulator. His command speed became noticeably faster. His Monsuno responded almost instantly to every order. The system quietly updated after every session. Monsuno System. Level 12. Title: Elite Summoner. Owned Cores: Locke, Evo, Boost, Charger, Quickforce. Active Summon Slots: 3. Commander Proficiency: Advanced. New Tactical Formations: 4. That morning, Aizawa stood before Class 1A. Today we're going to the unforeseen simulation joint. The USJ. You'll participate in rescue training. The students immediately became excited. Mina raised both hands. A giant rescue facility. Hiroshima grinned. Finally, Bakugo remained silent. His eyes briefly shifted toward Izuku before looking away. Minutes later, the class boarded the school bus. During the ride, everyone chatted excitedly. Ochako leaned toward Izuku. Midoriya, your monsters are amazing. Do they all have different personalities? Izuku smiled. They do. Locke prefers direct battles. Boost likes racing. Charger focuses on defense. Evo enjoys gathering information. Quickforce is calm and patient. Ochako laughed softly. They almost sound like classmates. Inside one of the cores, Boost protested. I'm faster than classmates. Locke replied immediately. You're also louder. Boost growled. Hey. Izuku quietly covered his mouth to hide a smile. The bus finally stopped outside the enormous USJ facility. Waiting near the entrance stood the rescue hero. "Welcome, everyone. I'm 13. She bowed politely. "Today you'll learn how to rescue civilians under dangerous conditions." The students applauded. They entered the massive central plaza. Artificial rivers flowed through one area. Collapsed buildings filled another. Burning structures occupied the western section. Everything had been designed to simulate disasters. Izuku carefully observed every environment. His habit of analyzing never stopped. Then, his observation changed. His expiration became serious. The air felt strange. His instincts warned him. Inside the Monsuno cores, Evo suddenly spoke. "Master. Unknown energy detected." Charger lowered its head. Multiple lifeforms approaching. The system reacted immediately. Ding. Warning. Hostile signatures detected. Quantity. Unknown. Combat probability. 99.8%. Before Izuku could warn anyone. Whoosh. A swirling black portal suddenly expanded across the center of the plaza. Purple mist flooded the room. Dozens, then hundreds, of armed villains stepped through the gateway. Students immediately froze. Shigaraki slowly walked forward. His fingers scratched his neck repeatedly. Behind him stood a towering black monster. The nomu. Kurogiri floated beside them. The entire plaza became silent. 13 stepped forward. "Everyone, stay behind me." Shigaraki looked around curiously. "Interesting. All Might isn't here." He smiled beneath his hand. "This will be easier." Aizawa immediately pushed the students backward. "Don't move." His capture weapon unfurled instantly. "They're real villains." Without hesitation, Aizawa charged. Whoosh. His scarf wrapped around the nearest villains. Boom. Several criminals slammed into the ground. Others were kicked aside before they could react. Izuku watched carefully. There were simply too many. Villains continued pouring from the portal. Dozens. Then hundreds more. The system flashed crimson. Emergency mission. Protect Class 1A. Prevent casualties. Reward. 800 XP. 600 system points. New hidden core. Failure. Student fatalities possible. Izuku immediately reached toward 2 cores. Charger. Evo. Whir. Orange and emerald light exploded into the air. Boom. Whoosh. Charger crashed onto the plaza. Its massive armored body landed directly between the villains and the students. Boom. Its enormous feet shattered the pavement. Villains stopped advancing. Evo soared high above the battlefield. Its metallic wings spread across the ceiling. Shigaraki slowly looked upward. Another one. Izuku pointed toward his classmates. Charger. Protect everyone. Charger planted its massive feet firmly into the ground. Orange energy rapidly flowed through its horn. Hum. A circular barrier expanded outward. Whoosh. A brilliant orange shield surrounded Class 1A. Every student stared in amazement. Hiroshima punched the barrier. Thud. It's solid. Ochako looked toward Izuku. "You protected all of us." Outside the barrier, dozens of villains attacked simultaneously. Break it. Explosions. Ice. Fire. Blades. Quirks slammed into the orange shield. Boom. 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 The barrier barely moved. Charger remained completely still. Its deep voice echoed confidently. "No enemy shall pass." High above the battlefield, Evo scanned every corner of the USJ. Its glowing eyes rapidly processed information. Seconds later, it spoke directly into Izuku's mind. "Master. Approximately 172 hostiles. Warp user identified. Leader identified. Bioengineered creature detected." Izuku immediately memorized every position. He turned toward Aizawa. "Teacher. They're surrounding you from the east." Aizawa instantly reacted. He leapt backward. Boom. A massive shockwave erupted where he had stood only a second earlier. 3 villains crashed into empty pavement instead. Aizawa glanced briefly toward Izuku. "Good warning." Shigaraki narrowed his eyes. "That flying monster. It's gathering information. He pointed upward. Shoot it down. Several ranged villains immediately attacked. Dozens of projectiles filled the air. Whoosh. Zap. Evo folded its wings before accelerating. It effortlessly dodged every attack. None of the projectiles even came close. Boost's excited voice echoed from its core. Let me out. I can catch them. Locke laughed. Your turn will come. Inside the barrier, every student watched Izuku calmly directing the battlefield. He never shouted. He never panicked. Every command came quickly. Every decision protected someone. Tenya quietly adjusted his glasses. He's already commanding this battle. Even Bakugo remained silent. For the first time since entering UA, he realized something. Izuku wasn't simply controlling monsters. He was controlling the entire battlefield. Far across the plaza, the towering Nomu slowly lifted its head. Its empty eyes locked onto Charger's barrier. Shigaraki smiled. Nomu, destroy that shield. The bioengineered monster took its first step. Boom. Then another. Boom. Every footstep shook the USJ. Charger lowered its massive horn. Orange energy intensified across its armor. Its deep voice remained calm. Master. The strongest enemy approaches. Izuku reached toward another core hanging from his belt. His expiration became completely focused. Then, it's time for Locke to enter the battle. The entire USJ trembled. Boom. 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 Every step taken by the enormous black creature sent vibrations across the rescue facility. Students instinctively stepped backward inside Charger's barrier. The Nomu slowly raised its head. Its lifeless eyes focused only on the glowing shield. Shigaraki scratched his neck. Destroy it. Without hesitation. Boom. The Nomu vanished. It reappeared directly in front of Charger. Its fist shot forward like a cannon. Boom. The impact shook the barrier violently. Orange energy rippled across its surface. Students gasped. Hiroshima stared in disbelief. It almost broke through. Charger dug its massive feet into the ground. Deep cracks spread beneath its armored body. Its horn continued glowing. Barrier integrity. 93%. Izuku remained calm. Hold your position. Yes, master. The Nomu punched again. Boom. Then again. Boom. The barrier flickered. Shigaraki smiled. Good. Keep hitting it. High above the battlefield, Evo continued circling the USJ. Its mechanical eyes scanned every movement. Master. Enemy possesses overwhelming physical strength. Estimated target. Anti-all might bio-weapon. Izuku narrowed his eyes. I expected that. The system suddenly flashed crimson. Boss detected. Designation. Nomu. Danger level. Extreme. Recommended Monsuno. Lock. Izuku reached for the familiar blue core. His fingers wrapped firmly around it. Lock. Whir. The cylinder began spinning rapidly. Blue energy erupted from both ends. Spin. Whir. The core shot into the sky. A gigantic vortex opened above the USJ. Blue lightning illuminated the entire facility. Crack. Boom. Villains looked upward. Students held their breath. Roar. A gigantic armored claw burst through the portal. Locke descended like a falling mountain. Boom. Its landing shattered the plaza. Waves spread across the artificial lake. Concrete exploded beneath its feet. Dust filled the battlefield. The colossal guardian slowly stood. Its glowing crimson spikes illuminated the battlefield. Locke looked directly toward Izuku. Master. Battle orders. Izuku pointed toward the Nomu. Intercept. Locke smiled. Finally. The giant guardian charged. Boom. 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 Every step shook the USJ. The Nomu roared. Roar. Both titans collided. Boom. The shockwave blasted across the facility. Windows shattered. Water surged from the rescue zone. Students struggled to remain standing. Locke's massive fist slammed into the Nomu's chest. Crack. The bio-weapon slid backward several meters. But it immediately recovered. It answered with a devastating punch. Boom. Locke blocked using both forearms. Its armored plating absorbed most of the force. It only moved a single step. Boost laughed from inside its core. That's more like it. Charger continued maintaining the barrier. Master. Barrier stable. 88%. Izuku nodded. Keep protecting everyone. Understood. Locke and the Nomu exchanged another barrage of attacks. Boom. 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 Massive fists collided repeatedly. Neither giant gave ground. Every collision echoed throughout the USJ. Roar. Locke suddenly grabbed the Nomu's shoulder. Using its incredible strength, it hurled the monster across the plaza. Boom. The Nomu smashed through multiple collapsed buildings. Dust erupted everywhere. Shigaraki frowned. It's stronger than I expected. The Nomu climbed back to its feet almost immediately. Its damaged flesh regenerated before everyone's eyes. Muscles reformed. Bones repaired themselves. Within seconds, every injury disappeared. Mina's face turned pale. It healed. Evo immediately reported. Master. Enemy possesses accelerated regeneration. Izuku nodded. Then we won't win through normal damage. He rapidly analyzed the battlefield. Every movement, every reaction, every weakness. The system assisted him. Battle analysis. Complete. Enemy weakness identified. Continuous overwhelming force required. Prevent regeneration cycle. Izuku smiled slightly. Understood. He raised his voice. Locke. The Guardian immediately looked toward him. Don't give it time to recover. Continuous pressure. Locke grinned. Acknowledged. Boom. Its entire body surged forward. For the first time, the Nomu began retreating. Locke unleashed a relentless barrage. Boom. 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 Its armored fist struck without pause. The Nomu blocked one attack. The second broke its guard. The third shattered its ribs. Crack. Before regeneration activated, Locke struck again. Boom. Another punch launched the bio-weapon through the air. It bounced across the pavement before crashing into the artificial flood zone. Splash. The Nomu attempted to stand. Locke was already above it. Boom. Its massive knee crashed into the monster's chest. The lake exploded outward. Water surged like a tidal wave. Students stared silently. Even Aizawa briefly paused while defeating nearby villains. Midoriya, All Might, still rushing toward the USJ from another district, watched emergency footage inside his car. His eyes widened. That creature, back inside the USJ. The Nomu finally grabbed Locke's arm. Using its monstrous strength, it threw the Guardian across the plaza. Boom. Locke crashed into several buildings. Concrete collapsed. Dust covered the battlefield. For a brief moment, silence. Shigaraki smiled. Good. Then, roar. The rubble exploded apart. Boom. Locke emerged completely unharmed. Its armor didn't possess a single crack. It slowly rolled one shoulder. Acceptable strength. The Nomu roared once more. Roar. Locke answered with an even louder roar. Roar. The two colossal monsters charged toward each other again. Their next collision shook the entire USJ harder than ever before. Boom. The USJ shook violently. Boom. Locke and the Nomu slammed into each other once again. Their fists collided with enough force to send shockwaves across every rescue zone. Crack. Steel beams bent. Glass shattered. The artificial lake erupted into towering waves. Students watched from behind Charger's barrier in complete silence. None of them had ever witnessed monsters of this scale. Locke pushed forward. Its armored muscles tensed as it forced the Nomu backward one step. Then another. Boom. The Nomu suddenly disappeared. Its speed surprised everyone. Before Locke could react, boom. A powerful punch struck its jaw. The blue Guardian slid backward across the ground. Deep trenches formed beneath its feet. Shigaraki laughed. Keep going. Tear it apart. The Nomu charged again. Roar. Locke answered with its own roar. Roar. Both giants clashed once more. Boom. Their fists collided dozens of times. Boom. 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 Neither monster stopped attacking. High above the battlefield, Evo continued observing everything. Its mechanical eyes processed every movement made by the nomu. Seconds later, it transmitted new information directly into Izuku's mind. Master. Enemy movement pattern completed. Displaying prediction. A blue tactical map appeared before Izuku. Countless glowing lines showed every likely attack route. The nomu's next movements became almost completely predictable. Izuku immediately understood. Locke. Move 3 meters left. Locke obeyed instantly. Boom. The nomu's punch struck empty air. Its balance shifted forward. Right hook. Locke turned. Boom. Its armored fist crashed into the nomu's face. The bio-weapon staggered backward. Low kick. Locke swept one massive leg. Crack. The nomu's knee bent awkwardly. It fell onto one side. Shigaraki frowned. How? Evo calmly continued. Next attack. Vertical strike. Izuku nodded. Locke. Finish the combo. The Guardian raised both fists. Boom. They came crashing down together. The nomu barely crossed its arms before impact. Boom. The surrounding pavement shattered. A crater several meters deep appeared beneath the monster. Dust covered everything. Students stared with wide eyes. Hiroshima clenched his fists. He predicted everything. Tenya adjusted his glasses. Midoriya isn't simply commanding. He's reading the entire battle. Charger suddenly spoke. Master. Hostiles approaching the barrier. Dozens of villains had realized they could not defeat Locke directly. Instead, they rushed toward the students. Fire users. Blade users. Mutation quirks. All attacked together. Boom. Orange energy expanded from Charger's horn. A second defensive layer appeared. Every attack bounced harmlessly away. Bang. Slash. Boom. The barrier remained perfectly intact. Villains stared in disbelief. One criminal shouted, "That shield won't break." Charger remained motionless. Defense absolute. Meanwhile, Boost bounced excitedly inside its core. Let me out. I'm getting bored. Izuku shook his head slightly. Not yet. We finish the biggest threat first. Boost sighed dramatically. Fine. Inside the crater, the nomu climbed back to its feet. Its broken bones rapidly regenerated. Muscles stitched together. Crack. Within seconds, it stood again. Evo immediately analyzed the regeneration. Master. Healing speed increasing. Estimated adaptation complete. Izuku narrowed his eyes. Then we'll overwhelm it. The system suddenly chimed. Ding. Hidden combat condition fulfilled. Lock synchronization. 100%. Charger synchronization. 100%. Combined technique available. Harmonic spin strike. New information filled the interface. A tactical diagram appeared. Lock would generate overwhelming offensive force. Charger would amplify that force using rotational energy from its armored horn. Both attacks would merge into one devastating impact. Izuku smiled. This is exactly what we need. He looked toward Charger. Release barrier. The students looked surprised. Ochako immediately asked, "What?" Charger answered calmly. Master has another plan. The barrier disappeared. Whoosh. Before the villains could react, Charger charged. Boom. Its enormous body crashed through the entire enemy line. Villains flew in every direction. Bang. Crack. None managed to recover. Charger stopped beside Locke. The two gigantic guardians stood shoulder to shoulder. Shigaraki finally sensed danger. Nomu. Stop them. The bio-weapon rushed forward. Rawr. Izuku raised one hand. His voice remained perfectly calm. Formation. Harmonic spin. Both Monsuno answered together. Yes, Master. Charger lowered its glowing horn. Orange energy rapidly spiraled around its body. Whir. Locke's crimson spikes ignited with brilliant blue light. Its fists became surrounded by rotating energy. The two power sources synchronized. Their auras merged. Blue, orange, until both colors became one brilliant vortex. Every person inside the USJ instinctively covered their eyes. The pressure alone became overwhelming. Boom. The nomu leapt. Lock moved. Charger accelerated beside it. Their combined rotational energy formed a gigantic spiral. Izuku pointed directly toward the enemy. Harmonic spin strike. Boom. Lock's fist and Charger's horn struck simultaneously. The rotating energy exploded outward. The nomu's body twisted violently inside the vortex. Crack. Both arms shattered. Its ribs collapsed. Its regeneration failed to activate before another wave of force struck. Boom. The bio-weapon blasted across the USJ. It smashed through the central fountain. Continued through two reinforced buildings. Then burst straight through the massive glass ceiling. Crash. The nomu disappeared into the sky before finally crashing hundreds of meters outside the facility. Boom. Silence followed. Every villain stared upward. Shigaraki slowly lowered his hand from his neck. His eyes widened for the first time. Impossible. Kurogiri immediately appeared beside him. Shigaraki. Our strongest weapon has been neutralized. All Might finally arrived outside the USJ entrance. He froze after seeing the enormous hole torn through the roof. His eyes slowly followed the trail of destruction stretching into the distance. What happened here? Inside the USJ, Izuku calmly lowered his hand. Lock and Charger returned to his side. The system quietly displayed a final notification. Mission complete. Harmonic spin strike successfully executed. Nomu eliminated from battlefield. Rewards received. 1000 XP. 800 system points. New core detected. Hidden mission unlocked. Next objective. Identify the mysterious corrupted core energy surrounding the League of Villains. Several weeks passed after the USJ incident. The League of Villains had disappeared without a trace. UA increased its security. Pro-heroes guarded every entrance. Despite the attack, life inside the academy continued. Students returned to training. Teachers prepared for the upcoming UA Sports Festival. Inside Classroom 1A, Aizawa stood before the class. The sports festival begins tomorrow. Millions of people will be watching. Don't embarrass yourselves. The room immediately filled with excitement. Mina pumped her fist. Finally. Kirishima grinned. I've been waiting for this. Bakugo smirked confidently. I'm winning. Izuku quietly opened his notebook. Instead of studying opponents, he began skipping the obstacle course that had been announced earlier. Different routes, elevated terrain, possible bottlenecks. Evo quietly observed from inside its core. Already planning. Izuku smiled. Planning saves time. The next morning, the massive stadium overflowed with spectators. Television helicopters circled overhead. Whoosh. Thousands of cameras focused on the arena. President Mike's energetic voice echoed throughout the stadium. Welcome to the legendary UA Sports Festival. The crowd erupted. Woo! Students from every class entered the arena. Class 1A received especially loud cheers. Many spectators immediately recognized Izuku. That's the summoner. He defeated the Nomu. Those monsters are amazing. Midnight stepped forward. The first event. She smiled dramatically. The obstacle race. Large screens displayed the course. Mountains. Collapsed bridges. Minefields. The giant canyon. Finish line. The gates slowly opened. Beep. Go. Hundreds of students rushed forward. Ice immediately covered the ground. Todoroki attempted to block everyone at the starting line. Crack. Massive glaciers spread across the course. Students slipped everywhere. Izuku calmly reached toward one of his cores. Quickforce. Whir. Silver light erupted above him. Whoosh. The majestic winged Pegasus descended gracefully. Its brilliant white wings spread across the frozen entrance. Quickforce lowered itself. Master, shall we fly? Izuku climbed onto its back. Let's go. Whoosh. One powerful flap launched them into the sky. A huge gust swept across the stadium. Spectators gasped. He's flying. Quickforce accelerated. Within seconds, they completely bypassed Todoroki's glacier. Below them, students struggled through the frozen battlefield. Bakugo blasted himself into the air. Boom. He tried catapulting up. Quickforce simply climbed even higher. Whoosh. Its elegant movements required almost no effort. Izuku looked ahead. Robot zone approaching. The gigantic zero-pointer robots activated. Boom. 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 They blocked nearly the entire path. Most students stopped. Others searched desperately for openings. Izuku simply smiled. Higher. Quickforce immediately gained altitude. Whoosh. They flew directly above every giant robot. None could even reach them. Present Mike laughed loudly. He completely ignored the obstacle. Smintos smiled. Perfect use of mobility. Recovery Girl nodded. He isn't wasting energy. The canyon appeared next. Powerful winds rushed upward from below. Many students hesitated. Quickforce calmly spread its wings wider. Air currents gathered beneath them. Whoosh. The Pegasus glided effortlessly across the enormous gap. Izuku looked behind. Bakugo had finally reached the canyon. Boom. He launched another explosion. But the unstable air slowed him. Farther behind, Todoroki froze another bridge. Tenya activated Recipro Burst. Tokiyami glided using Dark Shadow. None of them came close. Quickforce remained far ahead. The final obstacle soon appeared. The infamous minefield. Countless explosive mines covered the ground. Students carefully navigated through them. One mistake. Boom. Another student was launched into the air. Izuku calmly patted Quickforce's neck. Don't descend. The Pegasus nodded. Understood. They remained high above the explosions. Boom. 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 Mines detonated beneath countless competitors. Quickforce continued flying peacefully. Only the finish line remained. The crowd stood. Everyone watched the giant screen. Present Mike shouted excitedly. Unbelievable. Someone has already reached the finish. Quickforce descended gracefully. Its hooves touched the ground only a few meters before the finish line. Izuku jumped lightly onto the track. He crossed the line. First place. The stadium exploded with applause. Woo. Present Mike nearly lost his voice. First place. Izuku Midoriya. Time. 6 minutes and 41 seconds. The scoreboard updated immediately. First. Izuku Midoriya. The gap between first and second place continued growing. Bakugo crossed next nearly 30 seconds later. Todoroki arrived shortly afterward. Inside the waiting area, classmates surrounded Izuku. Ochako smiled brightly. That was incredible. Hiroshima laughed. You made it look easy. Denki pointed toward Quickforce. That Pegasus is amazing. Quickforce bowed politely. Thank you. Boost suddenly complained from inside its core. He gets all the flying events. Locke laughed loudly. You're too impatient. Evo calmly added. Quickforce was the optimal choice. The system quietly chimed. Ding. Event completed. Obstacle race. First place. Reward received. 600 XP. 300 system points. Special achievement unlocked. Sky Dominator. Before the students could rest, Midnight returned to the arena. The second event, the cavalry battle. Students immediately began discussing possible teammates. Many eyes slowly turned toward Izuku. Everyone realized the same thing. Whoever joined the summoners team would become one of the favorites to win the entire festival. The cavalry battle ended with another victory for Izuku. Instead of relying on overwhelming force, he directed his teammates with precise instructions while Quickforce continuously repositioned the entire team through the air. No opposing team managed to steal his headband. When the timer reached 0, the giant scoreboard displayed the rankings. First place, Izuku Midoriya. Second place, Shoto Todoroki. Third place, Katsuki Bakugo. The crowd applauded enthusiastically. Present Mike's voice echoed throughout the stadium. And now, the final tournament begins. Large holographic brackets appeared above the arena. Students immediately searched for their names. Izuku's first match ended quickly after his opponent surrendered. The second round passed just as smoothly. Meanwhile, Todoroki overwhelmed every opponent with massive waves of ice. Boom! Entire sections of the arena became frozen. Bakugo advanced through pure aggression. Boom! Explosions echoed across the stadium after every victory. Hours later, only 2 competitors remained. Izuku Midoriya, Shoto Todoroki. Midnight stepped into the arena. Final match. The audience erupted. Woo! The massive stadium shook with excitement. Both students walked toward the center of the battlefield. Todoroki calmly faced Izuku. Your monsters are powerful. Izuku smiled politely. Your quirk is impressive too. Midnight raised one hand. Begin. Beep. The battle started instantly. Todoroki stomped the ground. Crack. A gigantic glacier erupted forward. Towering walls of ice rushed across the arena. The audience gasped. That's huge. Izuku remained perfectly calm. He raised a familiar blue core. Lock. Whir. Blue energy spiraled upward. Boom. Lock descended before its master. Its gigantic body stood directly in the glacier's path. Orders. Master. Break through. Lock grinned. With pleasure. Boom. The colossal guardian charged. Its armored shoulder slammed directly into the glacier. Crack. Ice exploded into thousands of fragments. The enormous wall shattered completely. The crowd roared. Todoroki's eyes narrowed. Without hesitation, another glacier surged upward. Crack. This one spread even wider than before. Izuku pointed ahead. Don't stop. Lock accelerated. Boom. Its glowing fist smashed through another mountain of ice. Crack. Shards rained across the arena. Todoroki stepped backward. He continued creating larger and larger glaciers. Crack. 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 Lock destroyed every single one. Boom. 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 Inside the observation room, Synopsis folded his arms. He's using raw physical force. Nezu smiled. Not entirely. Watak Midoriya. Every movement made by Lock perfectly matched Izuku's hand signals. There wasn't a single wasted step. Back inside the arena, Todoroki inhaled deeply. Cold air surrounded half of his body. The frozen ground expanded rapidly. Crack. Ice pillars erupted beneath Lock's feet. The guardian momentarily lost its balance. Todoroki immediately raised his left side. Orange flames burst into the air. Whoosh! Fire and ice merged together. A massive wave of steam exploded across the battlefield. Boom! Visibility dropped almost instantly. Spectators leaned forward. Nobody could clearly see inside the white mist. Present Mike shouted excitedly. What's happening in there? Inside the steam, Izuku closed his eyes. The system activated. Battle analysis. Visibility reduced. Recommended support. Evo. Evo. Whir. Emerald light flashed above the mist. Whoosh. Evo soared into the sky. Its glowing eyes pierced through the thick steam. Master. Enemy located. A tactical map instantly appeared before Izuku. Todoroki's exact position became visible. Izuku smiled. Lock. 10 o'clock. The guardian moved immediately. Boom. Its enormous fist cut through the steam. Todoroki barely crossed his arms in time. Boom. The impact launched him backward. He slid across the arena before stopping near the outer boundary. The audience erupted. He found him. How? Todoroki looked toward Evo circling overhead. Aerial surveillance. He finally understood. His vision had been blocked. Izuku's had not. Todoroki smiled slightly. Then I'll remove the sky. Flames erupted from his left side. Whoosh! A pillar of fire shot upward toward Evo. The mechanical condor instantly folded its wings. Whoosh! It rolled gracefully through the flames without being touched. Green energy gathered beneath both wings. Zap! Precise energy blast struck the ground around Todoroki. Boom! Small explosions forced him to keep moving. Locke immediately closed the distance again. Boom! Todoroki jumped backward. He fired another wall of ice. Crack! Locke punched straight through it. The arena floor continued breaking apart beneath every collision. Boom! 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 Spectators remained standing. The battle had become one of the festival's greatest matches. Todoroki's breathing gradually became heavier. Izuku remained completely composed. Every command reached Locke and Evo without hesitation. The system quietly displayed another notification. Battle efficiency: 99%. Enemy stamina decreasing. Victory probability: 97%. Todoroki looked at the advancing guardian one final time. He lowered both hands. The flames around his body slowly disappeared. Midnight immediately stepped forward. Shoto Todoroki has left the combat position. The winner is... She pointed toward the center of the arena. Izuku Midoriya. The stadium exploded with applause. Woo! Locke slowly stepped backward before shrinking into blue light. Whoosh! Evo descended gracefully before returning to its core. Whir! Izuku caught both cylinders. He walked toward Todoroki. Instead of celebrating immediately, he extended his hand. That was a great match. Todoroki looked at the offered hand for a moment. Then accepted it. Next time. Izuku smiled. I'll be ready. High above the cheering stadium, the Monsuno system quietly updated. Festival final completed. Victory achieved. Reward received. 800 XP. 500 system points. Hidden condition fulfilled. Dark core resonance detected. New Monsuno available after internship. The stadium remained filled with excitement after Izuku defeated Todoroki. The audience continued cheering. Woo! Present Mike laughed loudly. What an incredible final. Our champion has been decided. Midnight walked toward the center of the arena carrying the championship medal. Izuku stood quietly while the cameras focused on him from every direction. Flash! 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 The medal was placed around his neck. The champion of the U.A. Sports Festival. Izuku Midoriya. The crowd erupted once more. Woo! Above the arena, colorful fireworks exploded. Boom! 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 Students from Class 1A applauded loudly. Ochako smiled proudly. He really did it. Kirishima laughed. That was awesome. Iida adjusted his glasses. An outstanding performance. Bakugo stood silently with clenched fists. His eyes never left Izuku. He hated losing. But even he understood one fact. Izuku had earned this victory. After the award ceremony, the students gathered inside the waiting room. Teachers entered shortly afterward. All Might smiled proudly. Everyone fought well today. However, his eyes landed on Izuku. Your command abilities exceeded expectations. Izuku bowed politely. Thank you. Nezu looked toward the champion. Your monsters never acted randomly. Every movement had a purpose. Izuku nodded. I calculate the battlefield before every command. Nezu smiled. That explains your efficiency. Aizawa crossed his arms. Don't let your victory make you careless. The world outside this school is much harsher. Yes, sensei. While everyone continued talking, ding, the familiar system notification appeared. Sports festival completed. Champion achievement unlocked. Reward received. 1000 XP. 800 system points. Special reward available. Claim now. Yes number. Izuku silently selected yes. Bright blue light appeared inside the interface. Reward claimed. New skill unlocked. Tactical synchronization. Effect. All summoned Monsuno receive a 20% increase in reaction speed while following the host's commands. Additional reward. Elite internship available. Recommended destination. Hosu City. Another notification immediately appeared. Hidden quest. Investigate abnormal dark core energy. Location. Hosu City. Reward. Unknown dark core. Izuku became interested. A dark core. Locke's voice echoed inside his mind. That doesn't sound normal. Evo agreed. Unidentified energy detected within system records. Charger remained calm. Prepare for battle. Later that afternoon, professional heroes began arriving at UA. They observed every student's performance before offering internship invitations. Many students received only 1 or 2 offers. Others received none. Midnight handed a tablet to Aizawa. Here are the final numbers. Aizawa looked through the list. His eyebrows rose slightly. As expected, he turned toward the class. Internship offers have arrived. Students leaned forward. Bakugo immediately asked, "How many?" Aizawa answered calmly. "Bakugo. 3,412. Bakugo smirked confidently. Then Aizawa continued. "Todoroki. 3,890. The class gasped. Mina blinked. "That's insane." Finally, Aizawa looked toward Izuku. "Midoriya. 7,681. Complete silence filled the room. Even Bakugo froze. Denki nearly fell from his chair. 7,000. Kirishima stared with wide eyes. "That's impossible." Ochako smiled warmly. "That's amazing." Aizawa continued. "It's the highest number in recent UA history." Many agencies wanted the mysterious summoner. Others wanted to study the Monsu number. Some simply wanted the strongest student. Izuku quietly accepted the stack of invitations. He didn't even begin reading them. Instead, his attention remained on the hidden system quest. Hosu City. Dark Core. Something there was calling him. After school ended, Izuku returned home. He placed every internship invitation across his desk. Dozens of famous hero agencies. Countless recommendations. Yet one invitation immediately caught his attention. The agency led by the wing hero, Hawks. Attached to the invitation was a handwritten note. Reports from Hosu mention strange biological energy unlike any known quirk. If you're interested in investigating unusual phenomena, meet us there. The system instantly reacted. Ding. Hidden quest updated. Destination confirmed. Hosu City. Estimated compatibility. 100%. New Monsuno core can be obtained. Izuku smiled slightly. Then that's where I'm going. Inside the blue core, Locke laughed. Finally. A real hunt. Evo spread its wings inside the system space. Unknown enemies always produce valuable data. Boost wagged its tail excitedly. I hope they're fast. Charger lowered its armored head. Master. We'll protect you. Izuku carefully placed every core onto his belt. Outside his bedroom window, thunder echoed across the evening sky. Boom. Far away in Hosu City. Inside a dark abandoned warehouse. A black cylindrical core floated above a strange machine. Purple energy spiraled around its surface. Crack. The corrupted core pulsed once. Then again. Its eerie glow illuminated the smiling face of an unknown figure standing within the shadows. Several days passed after the sports festival. Students departed for their internships across Japan. Izuku traveled to Hosu City carrying only a backpack and the 5 Monsuno cores attached to his belt. The city felt different from Musudafu. Its streets were older. Its buildings were taller. More importantly, its atmosphere felt heavy. The system immediately reacted. Ding. Location reached. Hosu City. Hidden quest active. Objective. Locate corrupted dark core energy. Progress. 0%. Evo quietly spoke. Master. The energy signal is real. It's spreading beneath the city. Izuku nodded. Let's investigate after meeting the agency. Inside the local hero office, several pro heroes welcomed him. Hawks leaned casually against the wall. "So you're the famous summoner." Izuku bowed politely. "Thank you for accepting my internship." Hawks smiled. "Don't worry about formalities. I asked for you because strange things have been happening here." He placed several photographs onto a table. Destroyed streets, deep claw marks, broken concrete, collapsed warehouses. None resembled damage caused by ordinary quirks. Hawks crossed his arms. "Every attack happened during the night. Our patrols never found the culprit." Izuku carefully studied every photograph. After several seconds, he pointed toward one image. "All the damage follows the same direction." Hawks looked surprised. "You noticed that already?" Izuku nodded. Whatever attacked these places was tracking something. Hawks smiled. "Good. Let's patrol tonight." Night arrived. The streets gradually became quiet. Streetlights illuminated empty intersections. Izuku walked across rooftops beside Hawks. Evo flew silently above them. Its glowing eyes constantly scanned the surroundings. Suddenly, ding, warning, dark core resonance increasing. Distance, 450 meters. Evo immediately spoke. "Master, target detected." Hawks noticed Izuku suddenly changing direction. "Found something." "Yes." Both immediately sprinted across the rooftops. Whoosh. Minutes later, they reached an abandoned industrial district. Rusted factories surrounded the area. Broken windows reflected the moonlight. Everything was silent. Too silent. Izuku slowly stepped inside the largest warehouse. Creak. The enormous metal door opened. Dust filled the air. At the center of the building stood a strange machine connected to dozens of cables. Floating above it was a black Monsuno core. Purple lightning continuously surrounded it. Crack, crack. Hawks frowned. "That's definitely not normal." The system flashed brightly. "Unknown artifact detected. Designation: corrupted dark core. Compatible Monsuno available. Purification possible." Before Izuku could approach, a deep growl echoed through the warehouse. Roar. Purple mist exploded from the black core. Boom. The cylinder began spinning violently. Whir. Dark energy expanded across the room. The floor cracked beneath it. Crack. Hawks immediately spread his wings. "Something's coming." A gigantic portal opened above the machine. Purple lightning surged everywhere. Crack. Two enormous antlers emerged first. Then four powerful legs. Finally, a massive black deer-like Monsuno descended onto the factory floor. Boom. Its glowing crimson eyes slowly opened. Its blade-like antlers reflected the moonlight. Its entire body radiated dark energy. Evo immediately analyzed it. Identification complete. Monsuno identified. Name: Nightclip. Status: corrupted. Alignment: hostile. Nightclip released another terrifying roar. Roar. Its antlers ignited with purple energy. Without warning, it disappeared. Whoosh. Hawks barely reacted. Slash. One crimson blade cut through several steel pillars. Boom. The entire warehouse shook violently. Hawks jumped backward. Fast. Nightclip attacked again. Whoosh. Another slash tore across the floor. Crack. Izuku narrowly avoided the strike. Boost's excited voice echoed from its core. "Let me fight." Locke immediately interrupted. "Too reckless." Evo remained calm. "Master, its speed exceeds previous enemies." Izuku reached toward his belt. His fingers stopped on one familiar blue core. Locke. Whir. Blue light erupted into the warehouse. Boom. Locke landed directly before its master. Nightclip charged instantly. Whoosh. Its glowing antlers clashed against Locke's armored forearms. Boom. A powerful shockwave burst outward. The warehouse walls cracked. Dust fell from the ceiling. Nightclip leapt backward before attacking again. Its movements became almost invisible. Slash. 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 Locke blocked every strike. Sparks erupted with every collision. Crack. Evo circled high above. Its sensors rapidly analyzed every movement. Seconds later. Master. Nightclip's attacks are becoming unstable. The corruption is controlling it. Izuku stared toward the corrupted core floating behind the monster. He finally understood. We don't destroy it. Hawks looked confused. What? Izuku's eyes remained fixed on the corrupted core. We save it. The system immediately responded. Ding. Hidden objective updated. Purify corrupted nightclip. Reward. Nightclip core. Unique dark evolution unlocked. Progress. Begin purification. Nightclip's crimson eyes burned with unstable energy. Purple lightning surged across its black body. Crack. The corrupted Monsuno lowered its blade-like antlers. Roar. It charged once again. Whoosh. Locke stepped forward without hesitation. Boom. Their collision shattered the warehouse floor. Deep cracks spread beneath both giants. Hawks leapt onto a steel beam. That thing just keeps attacking. Izuku's eyes never left the floating black core behind Nightclip. The corruption wasn't coming from the Monsuno itself. It was being forced into madness. The system confirmed his conclusion. Ding. Analysis complete. Corruption source. External dark energy. Nightclip is not hostile by nature. Recommended action. Disable corruption field. Izuku immediately formed a plan. Lock. Hold it in place. Locke grinned. Finally. Boom. The giant guardian rushed forward. Its armored arms wrapped around Nightclip's body. Roar. Nightclip struggled violently. Its antlers slashed through Locke's armor. Crack. Sparks scattered everywhere. But Locke refused to release its grip. Master. Now. Izuku looked toward Evo. Destroy the machine. Understood. Whoosh. Evo folded its wings before diving toward the strange device supporting the corrupted core. Purple energy immediately reacted. Multiple dark beams shot upward. Zap. 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 Evo twisted gracefully through every attack. None touched its metallic body. Hawks smiled. Nice flying. Evo reached the machine. Green energy gathered beneath both wings. Target locked. Boom. Its energy blast struck the machine directly. Crack. Metal supports bent. Another blast followed. Boom. The machine exploded into dozens of pieces. Cables snapped apart. Electric sparks burst everywhere. The floating dark core immediately became unstable. Crack. Purple lightning flickered wildly. Nightclip suddenly stopped struggling. Its body trembled. The crimson glow inside its eyes weakened. Roar. Its roar became quieter. The system flashed brilliantly. Purification sequence available. Host authorization required. Yes. Izuku immediately selected the option. A brilliant blue circle appeared beneath the corrupted core. Light rapidly surrounded the black cylinder. Purple corruption began dissolving. Whoosh. Dark smoke escaped into the air. The floating core shook violently. Crack. 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 Inside Locke's grasp, Nightclip roared one final time. Roar. Then, the purple energy disappeared. Its black body slowly changed. Dark violet became deep silver. Its crimson eyes transformed into calm emerald light. Its violent breathing stopped. The giant deer lowered its head peacefully. Locke slowly released its grip. Nightclip remained completely still. It looked toward Izuku, then slowly walked forward. Hawks remained ready to attack. Careful. Izuku quietly raised one hand. Nightclip lowered its head before him. Its antlers touched the floor. The system chimed. Ding. Purification successful. Monsuno acquired. Name. Nightclip. Status. Loyal. Alignment. Host. New core generated. The purified core gently floated toward Izuku. He caught it with both hands. The once black cylinder now shimmered with silver and dark blue patterns. Nightclip's calm voice echoed inside his mind. Master. Thank you. You freed me. Izuku smiled. Welcome to the team. Inside the system space, the other Monsuno reacted. Locke laughed loudly. Good. Another warrior joins us. Boost bounced excitedly. Let's race later. Charger lowered its head respectfully. Welcome. Evo spread its wings. Combat analysis predicts excellent battlefield synergy. Nightclip nodded calmly. I shall fight beside all of you. Hawks walked toward Izuku while examining the new core. I've never seen anything like that. You didn't defeat it. You saved it. Izuku carefully attached the new core beside the others on his belt. It wasn't evil. It was being controlled. Hawks nodded slowly. Looks like your instincts were right. Before either of them could leave, the system suddenly issued another alert. Ding. New emergency detected. Hostile presence approaching. Identity. Hero killer stain. Distance. 620 meters. Objective updated. Prevent civilian casualties. New mission activated. Reward. Unknown dark core information. At the same moment, far across Hosu City, inside a narrow alley, a pro-hero collapsed onto the pavement. Slash. Blood stained the cracked road. Slow footsteps echoed through the darkness. Tap, tap, tap. A man carrying several swords emerged beneath the streetlight. His eyes remained fixed ahead. False heroes. He continued walking deeper into the city. His next target had already been chosen. 1 week after the incident in Hosu City, the internships came to an end. Class 1A reunited at U.A. Everyone had improved. New techniques. Better teamwork. Greater confidence. Aizawa stood before the class. You're leaving for the forest training camp today. Your quirks and combat abilities will be pushed further. The students cheered. Yes. Minutes later, the school bus departed. After several hours, the dense forest finally came into view. Towering mountains surrounded the area. Fresh air filled the valley. Waiting at the entrance were the wild pussycats. Mandalay smiled. Welcome. Pixie Bob grinned mischievously. Let's see how strong you've become. Before anyone could relax, the ground suddenly shook. Boom. Gigantic earth beasts burst from the soil. Students immediately prepared for battle. Mandalay laughed. Your training starts now. Survive. Dozens of monsters charged simultaneously. Hiroshima hardened his body. Boom. Ochako floated several boulders. Tsuyu leapt into combat. Izuku calmly observed the battlefield. He didn't summon anyone. Instead, he watched his classmates solve the situation themselves. After nearly 30 exhausting minutes, everyone finally reached the camp. Many students collapsed onto the ground. Denki groaned. That was torture. Mina nodded. I'm exhausted. Izuku simply smiled. Everyone improved. That evening, combat training continued. Students practiced until sunset before finally eating dinner together. Laughter echoed across the camp. Everything seemed peaceful. Far away, hidden among the trees, several pairs of eyes watched silently. Inside the darkness, a blue-haired man scratched his neck. Shigaraki smiled. They're all here. Beside him stood members of the Vanguard Action Squad. Dabi, Toga, Spinner, Mr. Compress, Muscular, Moonfish. Their mission had already begun. Night fell. The forest became silent. Students rested inside their cabins. Izuku remained awake outside. He sat beneath a large tree while organizing his Monsuno cores. Nightclip quietly appeared beside him. Its silver body reflected the moonlight. Master, something feels wrong. Evo suddenly descended from above. Its mechanical eyes glowed brighter. Multiple hostile signatures detected. The system immediately activated. Ding. Warning. Large-scale hostile invasion detected. Estimated enemies. 6. High threat confirmed. Izuku stood immediately. They're already here. Before he could alert everyone. Boom. A massive explosion erupted near the northern cabins. Students jumped awake. Alarms echoed throughout the camp. Enemy attack. Villains rushed from every direction. Muscular laughed wildly. Finally, Dabi released waves of blue fire. Whoosh. Entire trees ignited instantly. Spinner charged with his oversized sword. Mr. Compress calmly walked behind the others. Panic spread throughout the camp. Mandalay shouted through telepathy, "Everyone, defend yourselves." Izuku immediately reached for two familiar cores. Boost, nightclip, whir. Two spinning cores launched into the sky. Blue and silver portals opened simultaneously. Boom, whoosh. Boost landed first. The velociraptor roared excitedly. Roar. Nightclip followed moments later. Its glowing antlers illuminated the burning forest. Izuku pointed toward Muscular. Boost. Intercept him. Boost grinned. Finally. Boom. The blue raptor accelerated so quickly that the ground exploded beneath its feet. Muscular barely turned his head. Boom. Boost slammed directly into him. Both disappeared through dozens of trees. Crack. Wood shattered across the forest. Meanwhile, Nightclip faced Dobby. Blue flames surged toward it. Whoosh. Nightclip vanished. Its incredible speed left only silver afterimages. Slash. Its glowing antlers sliced through the flames before striking Dobby's shoulder. Crack. Dobby jumped backward. Fast. Nightclip remained perfectly calm. Its emerald eyes never left its opponent. Inside the forest. Boom. Muscular laughed as he punched Boost. The velociraptor flipped through the air before landing effortlessly. It wagged its tail. Again. Muscular grinned. "You're fun." Both charged simultaneously. Boom. Their collision flattened dozens of trees. Back near the cabins, Dobby unleashed another number. Whoosh. Nightclip sprinted straight through the burning forest. Its antlers glowed brightly. Slash. Multiple energy blades cut apart the incoming flames. Dobby's eyes widened. What? Before he could react, Nightclip struck again. Boom. Its antlers slammed into Dobby's chest. The villain crashed through several burning trees before rolling across the ground. Spinner stared in disbelief. He's overpowering Dobby. High above the battlefield, Evo continued observing everything. Master. Additional enemies approaching from the west. Izuku looked toward the distant forest. Another powerful presence had entered the battlefield. The system issued another alert. Ding. High priority target detected. Identity. Muscular. Threat level. Extreme. Recommended action. Eliminate immediately. Deep within the shattered forest. Boost slid backward across the ground. Its claws carved deep trenches into the earth. Muscular slowly cracked his neck. His muscle fibers expanded even further. Crack. He smiled like a mad beast. Is that all you've got? Boost lowered its body. Electric blue energy gathered around its claws. Its eyes gleamed with excitement. Master. Permission to go full speed. Izuku's answer came without hesitation. Granted. Boost exploded forward. Boom. The forest behind it shattered under the force of its acceleration. Muscular laughed wildly. Come on. He threw a massive punch. Boost disappeared. Whoosh. The punch struck nothing but empty air. Boom. Trees collapsed from the shockwave alone. Boost suddenly appeared behind him. Slash. Its glowing claws carved across Muscular's reinforced muscles. Crack. The villain staggered several steps. Fast. Boost never stopped moving. Whoosh. It circled Muscular at incredible speed. Afterimages surrounded the giant villain from every direction. Muscular tried swinging repeatedly. Boom. 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 Every punch struck empty space. Inside the camp, Nightclip continued suppressing Dobby. Slash. Its glowing antlers cut apart another wave of blue flames. Dobby clicked his tongue. Annoying monster. Before he could counter, Hawks suddenly descended from the sky with several pro-heroes. Whoosh. Feathers shot toward the remaining villains. Reinforcements are here. Spinner immediately retreated. Mr. Compress smiled beneath his mask. Time to leave. However, another strange vibration spread throughout the forest. Crack. 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 Purple energy emerged between the trees. Izuku immediately turned. The system flashed crimson. Ding. Warning. Corrupted core detected. Distance. 180 meters. Evo immediately spoke. Master. The energy matches the dark core from Hosu. Izuku sprinted toward the signal. Nightclip followed beside him. Boost continued distracting Muscular while several pro-heroes moved in to contain the villain. Deep inside the forest, a hidden clearing appeared. At its center floated another corrupted core. This one radiated even darker energy than before. Purple lightning spread across the surrounding trees. Crack. Standing before it was a masked scientist wearing black equipment. He laughed quietly. Interesting. So you're the summoner. Izuku stopped several meters away. Who are you? The man ignored the question. Instead, he pressed a device attached to his arm. Click. The corrupted core immediately began spinning. Whir. Purple energy erupted into the sky. Boom. A gigantic portal opened. Something enormous descended through the vortex. First appeared a massive armored tail. Then poisonous claws. Finally, a colossal reptilian Monsuno landed inside the clearing. Boom. Its body was covered in dark spikes. Purple venom dripped from its enormous claws. Its crimson eyes glowed with violent rage. The system immediately identified it. Monsuno identified. Name. Spikebay. Status. Corrupted. Danger level. Extreme. Roar. Spikebay roared. The entire forest shook. Trees bent beneath the pressure alone. The masked scientist laughed. Kill him. Spikebay charged immediately. Boom. Its gigantic claws tore across the ground. Izuku reached toward two cores. Lock. Nightclip. Whir. Whir. Blue and silver portals opened simultaneously. Boom. Whoosh. Lock landed directly before Spikebay. Nightclip immediately disappeared into the shadows surrounding the battlefield. Slash. Spikebay's claws collided with Lock's armored fists. Boom. A powerful shockwave flattened nearby trees. Both gigantic Monsuno pushed against each other. Neither gave ground. Meanwhile, Nightclip silently circled behind the corrupted beast. Evo flew high overhead. Master. Corruption source confirmed. The core itself. Izuku nodded. Same method as before. The masked scientist suddenly laughed. You think purification will work again? He activated another Switch. Click. Purple energy surged into Spikebay. Roar. Its muscles expanded dramatically. Its claws grew even larger. Lock was pushed backward for the first time. Boom. Deep trenches formed beneath its feet. Boost finally arrived after defeating Muscular's advance. It skidded beside Izuku. Need help? Yes. Izuku pointed toward Spikebay. Support Lock. Boost grinned. On it. Boom. The Velociraptor accelerated instantly. It leapt onto Spikebay's shoulder before slashing repeatedly. Slash. 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 The corrupted giant roared in pain. Roar. Lock seized the opportunity. Boom. Its massive fist slammed into Spikebay's chest. The enormous reptile stumbled backward. Nightclip emerged from the darkness. Its glowing antlers sliced directly toward the floating corrupted core. Slash. Before the attack landed, a purple barrier appeared. Boom. Nightclip bounced backward. Evo immediately analyzed it. Master. Energy shield detected. Physical attacks ineffective. The system chimed again. Ding. New function unlocked. Core capture protocol. Requirement. Target weakened below 30%. Host may overwrite corrupted ownership. Izuku smiled slightly. So I don't have to destroy it. He looked toward his Monsu number. Everyone. We're taking Spikebay alive. Lock cracked its massive knuckles. Understood. Boost lowered its body. This'll be fun. Nightclip's antlers glowed brightly. I'll cut off its escape. Evo continued circling overhead. Battle calculations updated. The four Monsuno slowly surrounded the corrupted giant from every direction. Spikebay growled as poisonous mist spread across the clearing. Roar. Its crimson eyes locked onto Izuku. The decisive battle for ownership of the corrupted core had begun. The corrupted spikebay stood in the middle of the ruined forest. Purple venom dripped from its claws. Roar! Its roar echoed through every corner of the battlefield. Locke stood directly ahead. Boost circled to the left. Nightclip silently moved through the shadows. Evo remained high above the battlefield. Izuku calmly observed every movement. The system displayed Spikebay's condition. Target: Spikebay. Health: 41%. Capture available below: 30%. The masked scientist grinned. "You'll never take it." He pressed another switch. Click. Purple energy surged into Spikebay once more. Roar! Its spikes expanded. Venom exploded across the ground. Boom! Entire trees dissolved after touching the poisonous liquid. Boost jumped backward. "That stuff melts everything." Evo immediately scanned the battlefield. Safe route calculated. A blue tactical path appeared before Izuku. He immediately raised one hand. Boost. Right side. Nightclip. Cut behind it. Lock. Hold the center. All three Monsuno moved simultaneously. Boom. Whoosh. Slash. Their teamwork became flawless. Locke charged directly toward Spikebay. Boom. Both giants collided once again. Their fists crashed together. Boom. The surrounding earth shattered. Spikebay tried forcing Locke backward. Locke refused to move. Its armored feet dug deeply into the ground. Nightclip suddenly appeared behind Spikebay. Its glowing antlers flashed. Slash. A deep cut appeared across Spikebay's back. Roar! The corrupted monster swung its tail wildly. Nightclip disappeared before the strike landed. Boost immediately entered the opening. Boom! Its glowing claws struck Spikebay's exposed side. Crack! Another wound opened. The corrupted giant staggered. The masked scientist frowned. "Impossible," Evo calmly reported. "Master. Target health: 32%. Izuku nodded. "Almost there." Spikebay suddenly opened its enormous jaws. Purple energy gathered inside its mouth. Crack! Evo immediately warned everyone. "High energy attack incoming. Scatter." Locke jumped backward. Boost vanished. Nightclip disappeared into darkness. The next instant, boom! A gigantic beam of corrupted energy blasted through the forest. Everything in its path vanished. Trees, rocks, entire hillsides, all erased instantly. Hawks, arriving with several pro-heroes, watched the destruction from above. "That attack," one hero whispered. "It's stronger than most high-end quirks." The smoke slowly cleared. Spikebay breathed heavily. Its energy had dropped significantly. The system chimed. Ding. Target health: 28%. Capture protocol available. Izuku smiled. Now, he raised his left hand toward the corrupted core. System. Activate capture protocol. Bright blue energy erupted around him. Whoosh. A massive digital circle appeared beneath Spikebay. The corrupted core trembled violently. Crack! Purple lightning burst in every direction. The masked scientist shouted, "Stop!" He rushed toward the floating core. Nightclip instantly intercepted him. Slash! Its glowing antlers stopped only centimeters from the scientist's throat. The man froze. Locke grabbed Spikebay's enormous arms. Boost pinned its tail. Evo generated a green containment field from above. The system voice echoed. Ownership transfer initiated. 10%, 20%, 50%. Spikebay struggled desperately. Roar! Purple corruption exploded across its body. Locke tightened its grip. "You aren't escaping." Boost dug its claws deeper into the ground. "Hold still." Nightclip calmly watched the corrupted core. Almost finished. The scientist desperately reached toward the floating cylinder. Before his fingers touched it, hawks appeared behind him. Whoosh! Dozens of crimson feathers wrapped around both of his arms. "Going somewhere." The scientist struggled. "Let me go." Hawks smiled. "Not happening." The system continued. 70%, 85%, 98%. The corrupted core suddenly cracked. Crack. Purple energy burst outward. Then, everything became quiet. The corruption completely disappeared. The black cylinder transformed into a blue and purple core. Gentle light surrounded it. Spikebay's crimson eyes slowly changed into brilliant sapphire blue. Its violent breathing stopped. The giant reptilian Monsuno lowered its massive head before Izuku. The system chimed one final time. Ding. Capture successful. Monsuno acquired. Name: Spikebay. Status: loyal. New core added. Total Monsuno. The floating core slowly descended. Izuku caught it with one hand. Spikebay's deep voice echoed inside his mind. Master, thank you for freeing me. Izuku smiled. Welcome. Inside the system space, Locke laughed. Another powerful fighter. Boost wagged its tail. Our team's getting bigger. Nightclip nodded respectfully. Welcome, warrior. Charger calmly added. Our defenses grow stronger. Evo completed its analysis. Battle efficiency has increased. The system issued one final notification. Ding. Main mission completed. Corrupted Spikebay purified. New emergency detected. Location: Camino Ward. Priority: maximum. All for one has appeared. Estimated arrival: immediate. Prepare all Monsuno for the largest battle since the system awakened. Camino Ward was covered in smoke. Collapsed buildings surrounded the battlefield. Sirens echoed through every street. Whoosh. Pro-heroes evacuated civilians as quickly as possible. All Might stood in the middle of the ruined district. Facing him, All for One, the ruler of Japan's underworld, smiled beneath his life support mask. It's been a long time. All Might clenched his fists. This ends today. Boom. Their clash shook the entire city. Shockwaves shattered nearby windows. High above Camino, Hawks landed beside Izuku. We're too late. Izuku looked toward the battlefield. His expiration became serious. All for One calmly released dozens of quirks. Black tendrils, compressed air, explosive shockwaves, energy spears. Everything surged toward All Might. Boom. All Might barely blocked the attack. The street beneath him collapsed. The system suddenly flashed crimson. Ding. Maximum threat detected. Enemy. All for One. Combat rating: unknown. Recommended deployment: all Monsu number. Izuku slowly reached toward every core on his belt. Everyone. Battle formation. Whir. 7 cores launched into the sky simultaneously. Blue, green, orange, silver, purple, white, crimson. Massive portals opened above Kami number. Boom, boom, boom. Locke landed first. Evo descended from above. Charger shook the ground. Boost sprinted across the streets. Quickforce circled the battlefield. Nightclip emerged from the shadows. Spikebay roared beside the others. Roar. Every hero looked upward. Edges widened his eyes. 7 monsters. Best Genist whispered. Midoriya. All for One slowly looked toward the newly arrived Monsu number. Interesting. He raised one hand. Multiple quirks activated together. Dark cannons fired toward the Guardians. Boom. Locke crossed both arms. Charger immediately stepped beside it. Orange energy expanded. Whoosh. An enormous barrier surrounded every Monsu number. Boom. The combined attack exploded against the shield. Dust filled the battlefield. Seconds later, the barrier remained completely intact. Not even a crack appeared. All for One's smile faded slightly. Remarkable. Izuku pointed forward. Counterattack. Locke charged immediately. Boom. Boost disappeared beside it. Whoosh. Nightclip vanished into darkness. Quickforce climbed into the clouds. Evo circled above All for One. Spikebay advanced from the opposite side. Within seconds, All for One became completely surrounded. He calmly activated another combination of quirks. Air cannon. Impact recoil. Kinetic booster. Boom. A gigantic shockwave erupted outward. Boost was launched backward. Spikebay slid several meters. Locke remained standing. Its massive feet carved trenches into the road. All for one immediately followed with black tendrils. Whoosh! Hundreds of dark whips surged toward every Monsuno number. Nightclip disappeared. Slash! Its glowing antlers sliced apart multiple tendrils. Evo fired precise energy blasts from above. Zap! 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 The projectiles disrupted several incoming quirks. Quickforce suddenly descended. Whoosh! It rescued nearby heroes before another shockwave reached them. Meanwhile, Locke continued advancing. Boom! Its gigantic fist crashed toward All for One. The villain blocked using enhanced strength. Boom! The surrounding buildings collapsed. All for One slid backward several meters. Impressive. Then, he smiled. But still insufficient. Dozens of quirks activated again. Purple lightning. Compressed explosions. Giant energy lances. Everything erupted simultaneously. Boom. Even Locke staggered under the endless barrage. The system suddenly emitted another notification. Ding. Combat synchronization. 100%. All 7 Monsuno linked. Ultimate function unlocked. Wild core fusion. New information rapidly filled Izuku's interface. Every Monsuno core began glowing. Lock, Evo, Boost, Charger, Quickforce, Nightclip, Spikebay. Their energies resonated perfectly. Izuku slowly raised all 7 cores. Everyone. Fusion. Every Monsuno answered together. Yes, Master. Their bodies dissolved into streams of light. Blue, green, orange, silver, purple, white, crimson. All 7 energy streams converged high above Kami number. The sky itself trembled. Crack. Clouds split apart. Lightning descended. Boom. A colossal sphere of rotating energy appeared above the battlefield. Every hero stopped fighting. Every villain stared upward. Even All Might looked into the sky. All for One narrowed his eyes. What is that? The sphere suddenly exploded. Boom. From within the light emerged an enormous cosmic guardian. Its body combined Locke's armor. Evo's wings. Charger's horn. Boost's claws. Quickforce's speed. Nightclip's antlers. Spikebay's armored tail. Its glowing eyes illuminated the entire city. The system displayed its name. Wild Core Fusion activated. Fusion entity. Omega Lock. Status. Legendary. All abilities synchronized. The gigantic guardian slowly opened its eyes. Its voice echoed across Kami number. Master. Your command. Izuku looked directly at All for One. End this. Omega Lock spread its enormous wings. The entire sky shook as the legendary guardian took its first step toward the strongest villain in history. Boom. Omega Lock descended from the sky. Boom. Its colossal feet landed in the center of Kami number. The shockwave swept through the ruined streets. Every hero instinctively shielded themselves. All for One stared upward. For the first time in years, his expiration became serious. A fusion. Omega Lock slowly opened its radiant eyes. Its immense wings streaked across the battlefield. Golden, blue, emerald, silver, orange, and violet energy flowed through its armored body. The system displayed its final combat status. Fusion entity. Omega Lock. Status. Legendary. Synchronization. 100%. Remaining duration. Unlimited until dismissed. Izuku stood calmly behind the giant guardian. His eyes never left All for One. Finish it. Omega Lock nodded. Command accepted. Boom. The legendary guardian vanished. All for One's eyes widened. Fast. Before he could react. Boom. A colossal fist struck his barrier. The reinforced shield cracked instantly. Crack. All for One flew backward through 3 buildings. Boom. Dust covered half the battlefield. He immediately recovered. Multiple quirks activated together. Air cannon. Impact recoil. Forced activation. Kinetic booster. Energy spears. Hundreds of attacks erupted toward Omega Lock. Boom. 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 The legendary guardian calmly crossed one armored arm. Every attack exploded harmlessly against its armor. Smoke slowly disappeared. Omega Lock remained completely unharmed. Heroes watched silently. Edgeshot whispered. None of those attacks worked. Best Jeanist nodded. Incredible. All for one frowned. Then take this. He gathered dozens more quirks. Dark energy spiraled around both arms. The air trembled. Crack. A gigantic sphere of compressed destruction formed before him. The streets below shattered under its pressure. All Might immediately shouted. Everyone. Fall back. All for One released everything. Boom. The black sphere surged toward Omega Lock. Its path erased buildings before contact. Omega Lock calmly raised one hand. Its massive palm faced the incoming attack. Golden energy gathered. Whoosh. The Guardian simply caught the sphere. Silence filled Kami number. Then, crack. The sphere shattered inside Omega Lock's hand like fragile glass. Countless fragments of dark energy scattered into the sky. All for One's eyes widened. Impossible. Omega Lock stepped forward. Boom. Another step. Boom. The villain launched more quirks. Explosions. Flames. Ice. Lightning. Shockwaves. Everything struck the Guardian. None slowed it. Omega Lock finally reached All for One. Its glowing eyes looked directly into the ancient villain's mask. Battle concluded. It drew back one fist. Every Monsuno ability synchronized into a single attack. Lock's overwhelming strength. Boosts acceleration. Charger's impact. Nightclip's precision. Spikebay's crushing force. Quickforce's momentum. Evo's energy output. All condensed into one strike. Izuku calmly spoke. Grand fusion impact. Boom. The punch connected. Time itself seemed to stop. Then, a pillar of light erupted into the sky. Crack. The shockwave spread across Kami number. Every remaining villain was thrown backward. The ground split for hundreds of meters. All for One's defensive quirks shattered simultaneously. Crack. His mask broke apart. His armor collapsed. His body was launched across the city before crashing into the ruined street. Boom. Dust slowly settled. Complete silence followed. All for One did not stand again. The system chimed. Ding. Main enemy defeated. All for One eliminated from battlefield. Mission complete. Heroes slowly looked toward Omega Lock. None of them spoke. They simply watched the colossal guardian standing beneath the morning sky. All Might smiled. It's over. Police officers quickly secured the unconscious villains. Paramedics rushed across the battlefield. Citizens emerged from nearby shelters. Cheers gradually filled the streets. We're safe. They won. The summoner saved everyone. Omega Lock slowly looked toward Izuku. Master, our mission is complete. Izuku nodded. Return. Whoosh. The enormous guardian dissolved into 7 streams of light. Lock. Evo. Boost. Charger. Quickforce. Nightclip. Spikebay. Each returned to its respective core. Izuku caught every core before attaching them back onto his belt. The Monsuno spoke one after another. Lock laughed. That was satisfying. Boost wagged its tail. Let's do it again someday. Charger lowered its head. The mission succeeded. Quickforce smiled gently. Everyone fought well. Nightclip quietly added. Peace has returned. Spikebay folded its claws. Our team has become complete. Evo finished its calculations. Battle record stored. The system displayed one final notification. Ding. Main story completed. Title unlocked. The Grand Monsuno Master. Host level. Owned Monsuno. Lock. Evo. Boost. Charger. Quickforce. Nightclip. Spikebay. Legendary achievement obtained. Master of Cosmic Cores. All functions unlocked. The morning sun slowly rose above Kami number. Heroes continued rescuing civilians. Students from Class 1A arrived shortly afterward. Ochako smiled brightly. You really did it. Kirishima laughed. Those monsters were unbelievable. Iida adjusted his glasses. Once again, you protected everyone. Even Bakugo looked at Izuku before giving a small nod. Nice job. Izuku smiled as he looked toward the 7 cores hanging from his belt. Their gentle light reflected beneath the rising sun. A new era had begun. From that day forward, throughout Hero Society, one title became known across Japan. The Grand Monsuno Master.